What is this?
Maybach Music Fantasy Football League Recap Season 2.
Sweet!
Welcome to Season 2 of Maybach Music Fantasy Football League Recap, where every week we go over last week's games, this week's matchups, and as always, where we sit down with one of the league owners and go over what's going on in the league. It's year 9 of the Maybach Music Fantasy Football League, and with the new season came a new championship. The weekly Universal Championship, awarded to the team that's in first place every week, all up until week 14 of the regular season. And for the fourth week in a row, the championship would stay with team owner Rick is a Bitch, who would go on to beat Bo the Show 116-26. Bo the Show must have clearly forgotten to set up his lineup, as he left 5 spots open that week. And now, because of the weak point differential between the two, this game would also be considered Week 7's garbage matchup of the week. Tough break. But the show will go on to Week 8 and try to bounce back as they go on to play second place team Sosgang. And Team Rick is a Bitch will look to continue the winning streak as they go up against Chirac and a Super Bowl rematch in Week 8. And as we all know, Team Chirac beat Team Rick is a Bitch in last year's finals. So it's going to be very interesting to see how team owner Kai prepares for his brother in the Super Bowl rematch and what's going to be Week 8 matchup of the week. Now, we did have some close games in Week 7, and one of them was between Team Golden Showers and Team Sosgang. Sosgang would go on to beat Golden Showers 116-414, and a majority of that, or a big portion of that, was thanks to a 55-point combination by Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp alone. Now, a big part of this loss for Golden Showers came from his quarterback Patrick Mahomes, who had an interception and a fumble that game and ended up just scoring him 9 points. Sosgang will continue to try to keep up their momentum as they go into Week 8 and play 8th place team Bo the Show. In the meantime, for Golden Showers, they're going to try to get back on track as they go on to play 4th place team Sioux Girls 1 Cup this week. Now, our second close game of the week was between 9th place team Chirac and 10th place team Go-Go Ratchet. Now, I know it sounds weird, but yes, last year's finals champion is in 9th place, while the former 2-time champion is in 10th place. What a weird time we're at right now, but that's where things are right now. But just like last year in Week 7, Team Chirac looks to bounce back the same way as they went on to beat Team Go-Go Ratchet 87-84. And to be honest, Team Go-Go Ratchet probably could have won last week had they only started a kicker. I did not start a kicker. And as I mentioned, in a Super Bowl rematch, Team Chirac will look to repeat history as he takes on his little brother and will try to beat him this week with the help of Kyler Murray once again. Now, as for Team Go-Go Ratchet, at this point in the season in 10th place at, I believe, 1-6, they might want to start considering thinking about next year. Not only that, but they're going to have a tough matchup this week as they go against 5th place Trinidad James, who got Week 7's win of the week against To The House 40 squad, actually. Yeah, so Team Trinidad James was actually able to jump from 7th place to 5th place with a win over Team To The House 40 squad, where they won 131-114. Now, Mike Evans' 3 touchdowns and 26 overall points was a big reason for this one. Now, after dropping to 7th place, Team 2040 squad is going to look to try to bounce back as they take on the Redskin Gophers this week in Week 8. Now, Week 7's recap comes to an end with the final game, which was between the Redskin Gophers and Sioux Girls 1 Up. The Gophers would jump from 5th place to 3rd place with the win over Sioux Girls 1 Cup, where they ended up winning 116-102. In Monday night's football game, we had to see Seattle Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf score 14 points with an 84-yard touchdown in the first couple minutes of the first quarter for Sioux Girls 1 Cup. Down by 13 points, Sioux Girls 1 Cup had a chance to come back and win this game, seeing as Metcalf had already scored 14 points with still 3 quarters left, pretty much 4 quarters still to go. But he would be shut down for the rest of the game and would end up only getting Sioux Girls 1 Cup 16 points, which is great for a wide receiver, but just wasn't enough to get the win for Sioux Girls this week. Now they're all caught up with last week's games and the games coming up this week. Would be an episode of Maybach Music Fantasy Football League recap without a controversial interview. So let's get right to it.
And here we are with the one, the only team owner of Sauce Gang, Reese Yola. Now, for
fuck going on? Hold up. You know what the fuck going on? When you announce me, nigga, you let them know that I'm a multi-motherfucking champion in this bitch since I stepped foot
my
in this
mistake.
motherfucker. Been stepping on shit since I stepped in this motherfucker.
My mistake. Former two-time champion, team owner
That sound better.
of Sauce Gang, Reese Yola. Was that a little bit better? I tried to put a little bit of bass in my voice. I'm still playing around with this.
It's been a little better, but it's almost as trash as that bum ass jersey you got hanging up in the back of your wall, boy.
Whoa. Back here, we got the number one linebacker of all time. We got a council jersey, and then over here, we got what is this? We got a soul plaque.
I ain't disrespecting the player. I'm disrespecting the jersey, nigga.
We can get back to that some other time. Right now, we're talking about you and how you are right now. Because we're not going to be talking about the past. Last season, I couldn't get you for an interview. I can understand why. You finished last season.
Ain't talking about that. Next question, nigga.
This is for the viewers at home, just so they have a little backtrack. Last season,
what about last year?
Yeah, what was it? You finished ninth. You finished ninth place, 5-8 last season. That was last season, but it's forgivable because the year before that you won the championship, so it was like a Super Bowl kind of like hangover. Well, we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
We lost a lot of players. A lot of people ain't come back to contracts. We had a lot of contract issues. You know what I mean? But we back where we supposed to be. You know what I mean? We back in the top. You know what I mean?
As of right now, if I look at the charts, you're in second place holding a 5-2 record. That's pretty impressive.
Tied with the top, nigga. I'm going to smoke him next.
Now, with the new championship, you are a former Woo champion now. What do you think about the championship, having a new belt thrown out there this year?
I plan on getting it back next week. I love the belt, man, puts me where I'm supposed to be, at the top as a champion, So, I mean, after this week, I should be back at the top. No biggie. My squad about to put up major points this week. Got a lot of favorable matchups. Any matchup is favorable with Stafford and Cumberland squad, you know what I mean? Best receiver, best quarterback right now. MVP talk here, the chatters.
I'm looking at your squad right now, and like majority of your squad are Rams players. Did you decide to switch it up this year and just stick with one team? What was going back through your mind of just sticking with one squad to rock it out? Were you a little bit biased?
No, I'm never biased. I'm always with my squad. You know what I mean? I just like the players. I know if they're talented and what they're going to do, they're going to put up some fantasy from us. You know what I mean? So Henderson, great running back. He's going to give me the fantasy numbers. He catch out the backfield. He does everything that you need a running back to get you some plus points to do. Cooper Cup, self-explanatory, best receiver in the league.
And then who's your quarterback?
Stafford.
And they're all on the Rams team, right?
Yeah, he's a gunslinger.
So that's not biased, right? You're not a Rams fan, right?
I mean, that's just the coincidence that I'm a Rams fan, but like these people just happen to put up big numbers.
I mean, that makes sense. Now I'm gonna cut back a little bit. You've been in this league, if I'm not mistaken. I go 1, 2, 3. You've been in this league. This league's gone on for 9 years. You've been in this league for 4 years. This is your 5th year, and you're a 2-time champion. No one's done that since the first 2 years of the league. Wow. Now, you're breaking records. How did you feel winning your first year and like coming into this league? What were your expectations? And how do you feel now being in this league?
Coming into the league, it was always championship or bust for me because I feel like everybody else in this league was completely trash, honestly. I knew they couldn't fuck with me. It's hard to stop me when I get emotional, all the teams are just going at once, you're putting up numbers consistently like you're starting to see now, and you're going to see the growth is just going to get very incredible. We got a couple people that's on IR. We got a couple people coming back, like my guy Mike Thomas. He's gonna come through blazing. And we're not gonna be stopped. I'm gonna average about a good 140. You know, and look out, Lee. You know, I'm taking you by storm. I'm back to the throne.
Now,
I got a song on Apple Music about that shit too.
I mean, right now, we'll actually take a commercial break and let's do a little plug for you right here.
Grew up on the south side of gutter, the beam. Grinding, making money with the brothers, the team. Ducking all the goofy on the covers, the big. Fuck niggas showing fake love, the switch. A nigga making noise, I'm loud. Yeah, he get the bag in and out. Yeah, can't let a nigga know you're out. Yeah, he getting jammed without a doubt. Yeah.
All right, so now falling back to last year, you did fall 5-8, ninth
I don't know
place.
why you keep talking about last year. We here now in the present. Fuck the past, my guy.
I mean, in the past, you did win 2 championships. So do we say fuck that? We forget about that. It's about the present as well.
See, when you start talking history and past, that's 2 different things. Let's not get that misconstrued. You know what I mean? Get this shit together, man.
That's fair enough. You know, you came in the same draft class as team owner Scott. Scott hasn't made a finals. Do you have any team owner Scott of Trinidad James? Oh, I see. Who? I can understand that. I can understand the response. He hasn't made a playoffs. He hasn't made a final. So you haven't even seen that. So that's fair enough. Who? Let me just jump back to my next question. So Reese, right now you're in second place. What are your expectations for this year, realistically? Are you feeling making a championship run? You got, I believe, what is it today?
What does it take to be number one? That's all I'm trying to do, man. Be number one. Trying to win that championship, take home the trophy. You know what I mean? Feeling good, feeling great. That's it. That's what my eyes on. Get back to the top.
Now, if you win this year, you'd be the only person in this league who's won 3 championships. How are you going to celebrate that? How would you celebrate that in your mind? Where are you going to be? Where do we do this interview for the championship edition once you win number 3? We got to know.
That night, we got to be somewhere where I'm getting champagne bottles. I'm getting the goggles. I need the trophy next to me. I'm turning all the way up. You know what the fuck going on? I'm like, that shit lit. Because it's going down and shit. And I'm going to win. You're going to see. So when I at that other ring, that 3rd ring, I'm out there feeling like Kobe. You know what's up, man. You know what's up.
That's fair enough. Now, how would you feel about becoming an undisputed champion? And that means you would have to finish first place this year, win the Woo Championship, and then win the finals. You'd be the first ever.
That's going to happen.
I mean, you've done it before. If I look back at my stats,
I'm always doing the first ever of some shit. We go through the stats. You know what I'm saying? I'm a first ever type nigga. You know what I mean?
You're not wrong on that. I believe it was your first year you came into year. It was year 5. You were in second place, but you won your first ring. But then we go to year 7, 2 years after the fact. You were in first place regular season, and then you won the championship. So it's
so it ain't like I didn't do it before. That's what I do.
You've done it before.
That's what I do.
Now this time you have the championship belt to show for it. Can you do it a second time?
Of course.
With that said, I think we've got everything we need to know about your mentality going into this season, how you've been reacting. Only thing I can ask you is, what's the message to your fellow team owners?
Hey, I'm moving militant. Keep the fuck up or get stepped on, nigga. You know what's up.
Is it personal or is it business? All business.
Just business, man.
Just business. You heard here first, here on Maybach Music Fantasy Football League Recap. We did our first interview with team owner Reese. And he's letting you know, I'm in second place. And I'm going to go for number 3. And he's going to go for the Undisputed Championship. Team owner Reese, thanks for being out here for us this week. And I'm hoping to see you in Championship Edition. Good luck to you, brother.